Hello, and welcome to Spirit Among Us. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 12. Remember that you were at that time separated from Christ, alienated from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers to the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. If I were to ask you, what do you think is the most important question a person can ask, what would you say? What do you feel is the most pressing issue to confront in our lives? I believe it is a question that is central to the gospel, and it is this: how can we, as sinners, be reconciled to a holy and perfect God? This is the question we need to ask. Will we go to heaven? Why would God allow us into his heaven? This question is crucial. And the reason for that is because when we don't have Christ, we are separated from God. We are not reconciled to him, but instead we are, as Paul puts it here, without God in the world. It doesn't take much observation to see what happens when mankind is without God. Unfortunately, most people in this world are not Christians. They are not saved, and many are directly opposed to God. As a result, when we look around, we can see all manner of evil in our culture, but also worldwide. We can see all the murders and mass shootings that take place in schools and other public areas. We can see the terrorist attacks that are taking place, whether in a church, a mosque, or just some other public place. Or we can look at the thousands of women that are taken into the sex trafficking industry every year in the US alone. This world is full of evil. But why? What is the source of it? What motivates people to act so harshly and sinfully? What inspires a person to strap a bomb on themselves and blow up a crowd of people? What leads someone to murder an entire room of strangers and then kill themselves? How can these things happen? Of course, there are many reasons that we can give, many excuses people may use to justify their own actions. But what it really comes down to is being without God. These people who do these seemingly atrocious things don't have a reason for hope. They don't have real life, and they are not reconciled to God. They are cut off, completely without Jesus. He claimed to be the bread of life, and they have none of that bread. Christ is the one who bears our burdens. Christ is the one who has loved us more than we know. Christ is the one who has died in our place to secure a place for us with him. And the people of this world don't know this truth. They don't have this hope, and they lack the influence of the Holy Spirit, and instead they are influenced by another, the devil himself. Now, of course, we know that not every person is a mass murderer, but we also know that everyone who does not know God does not have life in them. And in this same way, we once lived our lives. So I just want to ask you this. Do you have a hard time showing patience to unbelievers in your life? Are there people you know that you think are just too despicable and sinful to be reached? I want to remind you that the reason people are the way they are is because they don't have God. When we set out to evangelize this world, let us never forget that we used to be part of this world too, and we also once lived apart from God. Thank you for watching, and God bless.